Good morning, guys. How are we doing? Today is the 18th of August, 2022. And I just wanted to answer a bit of a question that has come up in conversation over the last week or so, of why don't people just leave abusive relationships? Well, it's not always that simple. I don't want to explain to you why, okay? And the best way I can do that is to read this little quote by the artist Kaylin Dion from Art by Kaylin on Facebook. And so go pop over and check out her artwork because it's amazing and you'll be just blown away. But she put this little post up and I'll tell you what, it's spot on, absolutely spot on. And it is in her words, so I'm going to read it for word for you. People don't allow themselves to be abused. People are lied to and coerced into abusive situations. And before they know any better, their finances, their living situations, and all of their systems of support are tied into their abuser. People don't choose to be abused. They are manipulated by their abusers. And by the time they realise that they need to get away, it's too late to do so without tearing their entire world apart. And that's the bottom line. Abuse doesn't start with someone backhanding you or throwing something at you. It comes from months before that, possibly years before they even lift a hand to you, of mental and emotional and verbal abuse. It comes from gaslighting, which I'll get into in another video. But this is why it's not so easy. They slowly chip away at who you are and what your life is and all of that. They take away your friends, they take away your family. You're isolated, basically. And then, what happens is that, you can't do what you used to do because you're depressed because you've had to leave work and maybe you've ended up sick and have an injury, and it's all caused from the amount of stress caused from something that you don't quite know what it is that's causing the stress. So you go off work. So now they're the breadwinner and you're reliant on them. So, and then, there might be kids involved. So you're exhausted because you're not only looking after the kids, but you're trying to protect them from, whoever else, whoever the abusive person is in the family. I'm not going to say men because it's 50-50, guys. And for anyone who's watching this, I'm not just talking about men. I'm talking about women too. This is gender specific. And when I say kids, it may not be human children. It could be your dogs, it could be your cats, could be your parrot, could be your goldfish. But you don't want to leave them behind. Why? Because they're your fur babies, they're your scale babies, your feather babies, whatever. But they're all started part of your family. So you don't want to leave them. You don't know how to leave. And then it starts. And when they got you in that situation at that point, that's when it starts. That's when they feel comfortable enough to get shitty enough with you one night, they're going to slap you across the face with the back of their hand. Now, some of them aren't as canny as that. Some of them will show their true colours within, a matter of weeks, and which way you can actually just get away from it. But at the point that you're in residence with that person, it is very difficult to be able to walk away because your stuff's there. Everything that you hold dear is under that roof. I mean, obviously not your friends and family, but you know what I mean, So you don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. You may not know where to turn to because you may be in a completely new place. So you have to get help. You have to find someone who's going to help you. Now, underneath, I'm going to put the UK lines to domestic violence helplines. If you know of anyone or are in a domestic violence situation and you need to get help, please ring that number if you're living in the UK. Anyone outside of the UK, please find out. Please put in the comments below if you know the phone number, or email it to me so I can change the description on this video. I would be more than happy to do so. I'm aware that there are sometimes state-by-state things in Australia, which I would imagine would be the same in the US. But if anyone's in a different country in Europe or whatever, or if you suspect that your friend is in a domestic violence situation, get them the fuck out of there. Get them out. Go up, drive to them, get them in the car, and get them the fuck out of there. Because if you think that's what's going on, you have to go with your gut. If you've seen things or heard things or they've been whatever, you got to go with your gut. Because it only gets worse. It never gets better. And I can tell you that now. But if you are strong enough to walk away yourself, then do it. If you're not strong enough yet because things are complicated, then make a plan. Stick to the plan. Have people in your corner that are going to stick with you. So like I said, I will put that number down below, and anyone who needs it, please do call them. They will call you back. Or just stick with them. Stick with them. They are busy, they are underfunded, they are undermanaged, and they have not enough people. But if failing that, contact your adult social services in your local area if you can't get through to them, and that is through your local county council. And failing that, ring the police. If they're wailing on you at that moment, ring the police. If you can't speak, press 5. They'll know. That's the number. You ring 999 and you press 5 and they'll put you through. If you can't talk in that moment, and they will put you through to emergency straight away. And then they'll get to you as fast as they can. But just leave it going. Leave your phone going. Okay? Alright guys, I'm going to go. It's been a heavy one this morning, but I just wanted to say, stand up to abusers. They're bullies. If you see bullying in anywhere, it doesn't matter if it's a woman wailing on a man, or a man wailing on a woman, or a man wailing on a man, or a woman wailing on a woman. Step in. Do something about it. Don't just let it happen, and don't laugh when some woman is wailing on some fella. He's being beaten up by a girl. Let me tell you, my cousin died of injuries that was sustained years before due to his ex-wife beating him around the head with friggin' fry pans. And he dropped down dead in his field due to a brain aneurysm. Because people used to laugh about it because he was being beaten up by a girl. Sort it out. Stand up. You hear someone speaking to someone like they're some kind of piece of shit, and that person just cowering away. Stand up. One of the worst things I've ever heard when it came to abuse situations, go, oh, it wasn't my place to say anything. Like that lets you off the hook. No, it doesn't. It means you're a crap friend. Because it is your place to say something. Because if you don't, who will? if you're the best mate of that person and you don't say anything, who else is gonna? Wasn't my place to say. Shut up. What a cop-out. It's a cop-out for cowards and people who aren't actually friends with somebody else, who pretend they are. And it's one of the most hurtful things that anyone else can ever hear. Anyway, I'm going to go. Go have a really awesome day. Stand up to your bullies. Stand up to other people's bullies. Don't allow them to take from you. I love you guys heaps. Blessings.